Let's do watercolor painting using the 4 watercolor brushes of Infinite Painter. One more thing, you can download Sketch if you need and color palette. So let's jump to the first step of our painting, which is sketching. As we begin, let's start with the basics. I'll rough out the shape of our main character, which is an old man, using simple circles. I'm focusing on capturing his posture and the way he's standing, which will help bring the entire scene together. Then on a new layer, let's start with the basics of our old man's face. First, I'll draw the nose, keeping it simple with a gentle curve. Next, I'll add the eyes using subtle lines to suggest the shape and eyelids. Next, for eyebrows, I'll use short, expressive strokes to suggest the shape. The eyebrows help frame the face and add a sense of character. Add spectacles for old and wise appearance. I'm using simple lines for drawing mouth and frame of face. Now use loose expressive strokes to capture the texture and flow of beard. Notice how beard helps frame the face and add a sense of character thing. The hairline starts way back on the head. Use just few strokes to suggest the shape and texture of hair. As I draw the curve of head, I'm not worrying too much about getting it perfect on the first try. If I make a mistake, I can always erase and try again. Let's move on to the body. First, I'll sketch the straps of bib apron. Then I'll add the body of apron, making it more rounded around the belly area to suggest a bulge. Finally, I'll sketch the arms of loose-fitting shirt underneath. Add creases and folds to make it look more natural. So for hand, it can be tricky to draw. I'll start by blocking in the simple shape of hand. Next, I'll add the painting brush the hand is holding. Now, I'll draw the other arm which is holding a puppet. To start, I'll sketch a circle for the puppet's head. This will be the base for puppet's face, and I'll add details later. The puppet appears to be a soft-bodied doll with a gentle rounded appearance. Next, I'll draw the hand holding the puppet. I'll draw a thumb on the side of puppet's head and 2 fingers on the top of head and body, gently grasping it. The other 2 fingers will be folded behind the puppet's body. This will give the impression that the puppet is being held securely with its body hanging loosely below. Now sketch a line to suggest the presence of table in front of old man. Next, draw a rectangle to suggest the presence of paint bucket and a horizontal rectangle for papers. Next, draw 2 triangles to indicate the presence of 2 other puppets. Now that we have the basic shapes in place, let's start adding some rough details. I'll begin with the puppet, refining its shape and adding some features. Draw a small wooden nose and 2 circles for the eyes and semicircle for the mouth. Next, I'll refine the shape of fingers holding the puppet. Next, sketch the puppet's clothing. I'll carefully sketch the details of garment to bring the puppet's character to life. Next, add rough detail to paint bucket. Next, sketch a paper and add creases to the paper on which the paint bucket is lying. Moving on to 2 puppets lying on the table, I'll begin by sketching a simple triangle shape for the first puppet's body, then I'll add some details to its clothing. Next, I'll sketch the back of puppet's head, which will be a simple shape with a cap on top. Moving on to second puppet, I'll position it leaning against the first puppet as if it's sitting or falling against its companion. This will create a sense of movement and interaction between 2 puppets. Next, add details to old man's hand. Using the guidelines I sketched earlier, I'll carefully draw the fingers, paying attention to their shape, size, and positioning. We have completed the rough details. Now let's refine our sketch and bring the scene to life. Let's bring this artwork to life with some amazing colors. So this is our color palette we're gonna work with, and this is our sketch. Add a new layer and tuck it below a sketch layer. Then we will pick our background color and get ready to rock. From brushes, grab the chemical burn and max out its size. Now let's unleash some color magic on the background. Look at that, it's like our watercolors are dancing. Next, we will add another layer and choose a warm earthy brown color. Now it's time to choose the light wash brush and add a gentle stroke to our table and watch it come alive. You have to use a single stroke to color the tables. Now switch to heavy wash brush to add some depth using strokes of the same color. Now let's tidy up our messy color with eraser. Merge the table layer with the background layer and add a new layer. Now we are ready for next step. You need to select the pinkish color. Grab a light wash brush and sweep it across the old man in a single stroke. We are doing this to achieve a uniform base tone. That's why we are using a single stroke. If you add another stroke of light wash, the color gets darker. So we don't want that. Instead, we will switch to heavy wash brush and add another stroke of same color to make it a bit darker. Now select an eraser and erase the excess color, keeping it only to shirt. Now grab the wet paper and add parrot-inspired hue to Puppet's upper garment. Don't worry too much about staying within the lines. We will erase any excess color later. For now, just focus on adding the color randomly. Once you are done, erase the excess color and that's it. Next, add another layer and select a greenish tone. We will apply this color to the remaining garment, the overall shorts. Yeah, just go for it. Don't worry about being perfect. We will clean up any mistakes later. We will also add this color to the puppet's cap. We will also add this color to the other puppet's overall short. Add the same color to the cap of puppet. Add a new layer and arrange it below existing one. Now select the skin tone color and using the wet paper brush, gently sweep it across the old man's face. Add this skin tone color to the face of puppet as well as the hand of old man which is holding the puppet. Next, we will apply this skin tone color to the hand of puppet and to the feet of puppet as well. Apply the same skin tone color to the other two puppets. Next, choose a vibrant parrot color and add it to the underneath shirt of puppet. This will give it a fun pop of color. Moving on, select a grayish tone and apply it to the paint bucket. Then switch to upper layer and choose a whitish color. Use this to add a subtle hue to the paper beneath the paint bucket. Continue by applying the whitish color to the label on the paint bucket. Now go to upper layer and select this layer. Similarly, you need to select the two lower layers and you need to add the selection of these layers to previous selection. Now go to Selection Tools menu and invert the selection to get the desired area. With the selection in place, go to the upper layer and add a whitish color to old man's bib apron. The selection makes it easy to add color within the lines, keeping it contained and precise. Moving on, select the grayish color. Add this color to the old man's beard and hair. Next, head to lower layer and select the brown color which was used for the table. Darken this color slightly and apply it to the paint brush. Erase any excess color, then select the brown color again and add it to the metal band that holds the bristles in place. Now select the reddish color and add it to the bristles of paint brush. Now let's enhance the shirt with some subtle shading. To achieve this, navigate to Layer panel and head to the lowest layer. Create a new layer above it which will serve as a foundation for our shadows. Next, choose a cooler color and make it slightly darker to create a natural shadow effect. With a light wash brush selected, gently add shadows to the shirt, giving it a soft dimensional appearance. You can erase extra shadow contained within the shirt. Now navigate to Old Man's Shirt layer and select this layer. Go to the lower layer and navigate to Selection Tools menu. Invert the selection, and after it, you need to delete the selection content. Now deselect the layer and you will see all the extra shadow are deleted now. Select the brown color and go to the color wheel and make this color lighter. Now select the heavy wash brush and use the strokes of heavy wash brush to add lighter color to table. To infuse the old man's skin with a warm, healthy glow, navigate to upper layer and create a new layer above it. Select a reddish tint that evokes a sense of vitality, and using mostly water brush, gently sweep it across the middle part of old man's face. Reduce the brush size and add additional strokes to deepen the color, creating a subtle, natural-looking blush that captures the gentle imperfections of age. Now apply this reddish tint to ear and neck as well, and other exposed skin areas carefully. Next, select a grayish color and darken it to create a rich shadowy tone. Grab a light wash brush and create a new layer. Carefully add this darker color to old man's hair and beard, defining the shadows and subtle texture that give his face character and nuance. Select a grayish color and warm it up by adding a hint of pinkish tone. This subtle warmth will help create a sense of volume and curvature. Gently apply this warm grayish pink color to the lower part of belly area. Use this color to add patchy stains of paints on the bib apron. Pick the shirt color and use this color to create more depth to shadow. Now let's add some depth to Puppet's clothing by incorporating shadows. Select a green color and darken it to create a rich shadowy tone. With this darker green, carefully add shadows to Puppet's overall shorts. Use single stroke of heavy wash to add shadow to the clothing of Puppet. Don't forget to add shadows to the cap of Puppet. Erase excess shadow. Next, choose the brown color and warm it up by adding a reddish tint. This will help create a natural-looking shadow on the puppet's face, specifically on the right side where the hand is casting a shadow. Gently add this reddish-brown shadow to the hand and feet of Puppet. Add this reddish-brown shadow to the heads of other two puppets as well. Erase excess shadow and also erase the shadows on the right side. Now merge this layer with lower layer and add a new layer. Now select the greenish color and make it darker for adding shadows to the garment of other two puppets. Use multiple strokes to deepen the shadows on the puppet's cap and overall shorts, focusing on the left side and the areas where the surfaces touch the ground. Next, pick the shadow color and with a single stroke of heavy wash brush, add a dark shadow to upper garment. Finally, erase any excess shadow from the right side of the garment, creating a sharp edge that completes the shadowing effect. Now, let's add shadows to the left side on the paint bucket. Select the grayish color and make it darker. And use first single stroke of heavy wash brush to add the shadow, then use another stroke to make the shadows darker. Now using a red color tone, add a blush to the cheeks of puppet painted by the old man. Now using wet paper brush, add red color into the paint bucket. Then creatively splatter and drip red paint from the bucket as if it's overflowing with a fresh rich color. Select a brown color and switch to heavy wash brush. With a gentle tap of brush, add subtle dot of dark color to old man's skin. Add a new layer and select the grayish color. Make this color darker. Now add occlusion shadow of paint bucket on the paper. Apply the same dark color to the beard to make it more darker from the lower side. Add a dark reddish tint around the eyes to make the eyes look sunken. Now select the brown color and make it more darker. Now add occlusion shadows using heavy wash brush. Use multiple strokes of heavy wash brush to make the occlusion shadows darker. Now add a cast shadow of paper. Select a pinkish color and make it lighter. Now using a heavy wash brush, add this light color to the shirt of old man to make it pop. Select whitish color and add this whitish color to the beard of old man using small size of heavy wash. And also to eyes. Now select solid fill from fills folder and add highlight to nose and spectacles of old man. And we are done. Like, share and subscribe.